Community standards, who you allow through your gate. Now, this has been so important for the TrueFreedom partners this week, which is when building your community and even launching your program, it's so clear that the standards you have for allowing people to go in. And why is that? Because number one, if you're trying to reach everybody, you're reaching nobody. Number two, it's protecting the people that are inside your program, protecting the people inside of your community. Because if you just let anybody in, it's going to decrease the quality of their experience. And if it decreases the quality of their experience, guess what? Less referrals for you, less student success for you, less of why you got into this in the first place, which is to serve and help and share your passion, share your expertise. So I've got a door here written. This is some original art by Yannick Silver, TrueFreedom partner and longtime mentor of myself. And so what I want to share with you is some very helpful bullet points that we've encountered throughout this process. And it makes all the difference. So based on my experience, you can have a heaven community or a hell community. Heaven or hell, that's the stakes here. Heaven community where things are simple, they're smooth, they're fun. You're just like, wow, the more love I pour out, the more I receive, and then I even pour even more back out, on and on and on. That's the heaven scenario. So if you get this right, community standards, you'll have that for your business, your life, your program, your community. The flip side is if you don't get this right, it's the hell scenario. And let me tell you, this is pretty unforgiving. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter what love you pour out. If we don't get this right, I say we, because this is the playbook, this is the rules of the game for all of us following our passion. If we don't get this right, then it's the hell scenario. Energy vampires. People are just draining us. You give and give and give, and then you just feel so exhausted afterwards. You don't feel respected. You don't feel valued. There's drama in between, back and forth. And whenever there's drama on a sports team, even growing up, my grandpa Jack has this quote, and he'd tell us when we're on the team. So if there's somebody who's negative, who's always pulling things down, who's starting drama, squibbles, things back and forth, yada, 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 bullshit, you'd say one thing. Well, you know what you do with a cancer, right? And I go, what, Grandpa Jack? You cut it out. You cut it out. Because if you don't cut it out, then the cancer will spread and infect everything it comes into contact with. And this was so clear through my own sports journey, was to maybe wasn't able to remove the team member. As a coach, as a leader, we can do that, but cut out that philosophy, atrophy that philosophy. Do not water that negativity. Do not water that drama. Only water the things that are life-giving. And by the way, a little note, this doesn't mean to spiritually bypass everything and be like, oh, everything's all good all the time. I'm always choosing to be happy, so I am happy, so everything's all good. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. That's not the point, because we're real human beings going through real shit, and there's ups and downs and everything in between. So it's like, okay, let's be real. Hey, I'm having a tough day, or hey, this thing is not going the way I want. Okay, great. But there's a difference between stewing and dramaing and festering in it, of course, rather than being real and then moving forward. So authenticity is the key. Being real is the key. So that's the stakes here. So the solution here is clear standards, and to have the clarity and the conviction that your community needs from you, their leader. You are their leader. Now, you may be doing what I recommend, which is council leadership, where you are an equal surrounded by equals and you're facilitating, guiding, and leading. Okay, great. And at the same time, you're the leader. So they require of you to be clear with what those standards are. And they need you to have the conviction to uphold those standards. Because why? You're protecting the community. You are the steward of the community. You're protecting the community. You're leading the community. And this was an important shift for me because I want to help everybody. And and especially dial back the tape of my journey, I was really caught in people pleasing. Still practice this, to not get caught in it, but I was really caught in it, didn't like to ruffle feathers. And that was not a good combo for a leader leading a community. So clarity and the conviction is to uphold these standards and be clear. So something I recommend, though, is something I would get stuck in is like, oh man, I want to help everybody, but how do I turn people away? Especially if I want to be a people pleaser, if I'm eminent, excuse me, all the feelings are coming up, so I can't even speak right. So as an empath, feeling what they are feeling as if it's in my own body, I don't want to even more, I don't want to turn them away because I don't want to feel that feeling. So that's the roadblock that I would get stuck in. And I want to share this with you because there's a solution here. And, I just already got into those bullets. So the thing is to post the standards at the door. This is one thing so helpful, because if these standards are hidden behind closed doors or on the page somewhere or whatever, guess what? If somebody applies and doesn't make it, who's the bad guy? You. It becomes personal. Well, you rejected me. And guess what? Who loves to be rejected? Nobody. And we've all felt rejection at different points in our life. So imagine us applying for something, we get rejected. It's going to stir up all those things. It doesn't feel good. So the key, the workaround for this is to post the standards clearly at the door so everybody can see them. It's visible, it's public, it's truth, it's transparent, nothing is hidden. So then a person can see, and it starts being self-selecting. A person will see those and say, yeah, you know what? It's not for me. It's not for me. In whatever shape they communicate that's essentially will be the vibe, which is good. That just saved you a bunch of time. Just save you a bunch of time and energy going through the application, thinking about it, him and ha, going back and forth, talking to your spouse about it, talking to your business partners about it, talking to your mastermind about it, and then having that conversation with them, and then all that stuff. Just save that by just posting at the door. People will self-select. And then when if they don't meet the criteria, then you can guide them. You're in the guide position. Guide position will say, I don't believe it meets the mark in this point. Here's a step, here's a plan to meet that qualification. Right, you're the guide. And if they don't want to, that's okay. If they do want to, boom, then they'll be fully ready to join in. Leadership, guiding. I hate being a manager, and I refuse to be that. But being a guide, yeah, that's the type of leadership that I resonate with. So yeah, and one thing with this is if you don't step up into this energy as a community leader, I'm gonna be blunt, your community members will find a leader at that caliber who can lead them. They just will. And powerful community members that are committed, take action, focused, driven, authentic, they require that in their leader. Doesn't mean you need to be perfect. Truly believe you do not need to be perfect to change someone's life. However, this is the skill stack that's required to lead your community. And it's not going to happen overnight, but knowing this skill stack, I believe is very beneficial for you, because I didn't even know this skill stack was a thing when I was walking into it. I'm just like, whoa, why am I bumping my head on this? Why am I bumping my foot on this? Ow, stepped on a Lego. Like, what is going on? But when we know the skill stack, it's more clear and easy. So a few resources I want to share here, and then I'll share with you an example, a real example, because that's how I believe things click it for all of us. So the resources here, already spoke about that second one, posting the standard at the gate. Boom, that's going to really help. Second thing is the GPS method. Oh yeah. So video in the Decode Your Genius course, free on the YouTube channel. Module 3 in the free program, which used to be $2,500, by the way. So I poured everything into that program. Now it's free for you. So GPS method is in your chest, in your body. You can feel, you can think of this community member. And if you're too overthinking, like I have so many times and I want to help them, and I'll default to letting them in when that's not what's best for the community. That's what I used to do. So now you can do the GPS method, which is in your chest, and you can simply see, when you think of that person being in the community, does your chest close? Does your chest feel contracted? Does it feel heavy, a knot in your stomach? Your mind can thinky all at once, but the body doesn't lie. And remember, the body is the representation of the subconscious mind. And according to Dr. Bruce Lipton, the subconscious mind is a million times more powerful than the conscious mind, a million times more processing power than up here. So let's use that. And that's in the chest. So it's the GPS, it's guiding you. So you'll feel it close. Now, if they're the right fit, what happens to your chest? You feel it open, expand, feels light. Okay. And what will happen most times is that some people, there'll be a mix of it. And that's your guidance. That's your navigation is, okay, it's not quite the right fit. Let's take a look at the qualifications, because then you can give them the roadmap to rise to those qualifications. And in this way, a funny thing happens. With this loving, open, guiding way, people appreciate it. People appreciate it because they know deep down if they're not really meeting the mark on something when it's clearly laid out here. So in that way, you're guiding. Okay, so let's get into the example. Now, this is from a, oh yeah, well, real quick, a little bonus item here too. In certain cases, whether it's a mastermind or a certain group, you can use a technique with voting. You know, the members vote in. It's got to be like a majority vote or whatever it is. I use this for my mastermind council, and this is like a little shortcut that helped me get over the hump of like the people pleasing and all that stuff. I was really blocked in that, and really just like I didn't want to turn people away. I want to help them. I loved them. I like just like I could see who they could be. It was just not who they were right now, and that wasn't a good fit. But I still really blocked on that. So what really helped unlock this voting. It's like, hey, I'm here to guide. I'm here to help. And at the same time, once you apply, the group votes in, and then if you make it in, then you make it in, and if not, you know, that's just the case here. So that was really helpful. That doesn't apply to every situation, but it's something to keep in your back pocket if it fits. And so here is an example of one of the True Freedom partners, Naya Parakos, and her community. And 3 things I want to share with you from this. Of course, make it the own, you know, this has got to be authentic to you. We're in the passion game. So the funny thing is, if it's not authentic to you, it's going to fucking bomb. It's going to bomb so hard because your people are resonating with you. Copying things close off your heart. So you got to find your own version of this. But the 3 things I want to share with you in this framework is, number 1, who are you as a person? Get really clear on who your ideal client is as a person. And then that's the type of person to let everybody in. Big mistake everybody makes. I feel the temptation to, but I always got to bring myself back in, is we focused everything on the ideal client. So then when it comes to the standards, those are the standards. That's it. We want a community of people who fit that resonance check. And it's not the time to get wishy-washy. We're always speaking to one specific type of person. So number 1, who are you as a person? Who are they as a person, your ideal client? Number 2, where are they in their journey? That's a very important piece. Where are they in the journey? And again, this is to protect the members, And number 3 is just your no-no list. Like, just clear. Just say it so clear. So these are the 1, 2, 3 things. I recommend this for your program and for your community. Really, it's pretty close to the same. It's just really where are you at in your journey is a little bit different for the community, because with the foundation program, they get that foundation, and then they need to grow a bit to utilize that, and then they're entered into the community. So that's what we reviewed for today, or that's what I just, went through with you, which is the community standards, who you allow through your gate. This paints the picture of heaven or hell for what you're going to experience in your community. Have the clarity and conviction to be the leader that they need, and follow the intuition of your body. And then those 3 things of who they are as a person, who that ideal client is that gets the easiest, fastest, best results with you, who's going to be the strongest community member for you, where are they at in their journey, and then your no-no list. Community standards, who you allow through your gate.